another episode of Coffee with V. Welcome, my beautiful ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
As you all know, on the 27th of April, we as a country will be celebrating Freedom Day. What does Freedom Day mean to you as a South African? How would you be celebrating your Freedom Day? What would you be doing? We as a country are entering into almost 30 years of democracy. Almost 30 years ago, we had our first democratic election. I'm just, trying to think, what would it have felt like at that time if you had to go to the polls, wait in the line? For the first time, yes, in the new democracy, and cast your vote. I mean, I know we were definitely too young at that time.
Too young at that time.
No, I definitely remember it. It was It was a speechless time. It was a moment where it was unbelievable. It was a dream for a long time, and when you reached final reality of it, very hard to imagine. And I remember everybody, in the family. At the time, my kids were still very little. I think Udal must have been about 4 years old at the time.
Wow.
And I remember we took her with. And it was myself and my husband, and taking this little baby, and then Shanal was like 2 years old at the time, and we were so excited, to be standing there, despite the fact that it was a very long queue. But this was a moment that nobody wanted to miss. Nobody took advantage of that newfound freedom. And somehow, having said that, Veronika, I think it's so important that we have episodes like this and so many others to actually say, are we really commemorating it? Are we really celebrating this freedom that we have? What are people doing? Do we just forget that it's what the essence of it is?
The fight, the struggle,
what
that
was
people
sacrificed for it to get here, because it's very easy to also start slipping back into the comfort of having those different types of freedoms. So yeah.
And also we want to go further to say that Freedom Day is not just about a political freedom, but it can also be in this day and age a social freedom, an emotional freedom.
Definitely.
So you tell us, Veronika, as Mrs. Universe Finalist South Africa 2023, what does Freedom Day entail for you in terms of domestic violence? Because that is our platform. These are the people we are speaking to today.
I believe that freedom is such a powerful thing, because it basically is saying, I am breaking the shackles of oppression. I think in a nutshell, that's what we can call freedom. And in terms of domestic violence, there is so much of abuse, so much of oppression, so much of suffocation associated with it. And as a country, as a people, we've come so far to have, so many rights and so many responsibilities and so much of legislation that actually protects and empowers women. So I believe that in the spirit of Freedom Day, it is an opportunity for all victims of domestic violence to actually understand that they have, which we were speaking about earlier, they have the right to choose and say, hold on, it stops here and no more. And I am actually going to choose to get out of the situation, out of the abusive situation that I am in. I'm going to break the silence. I'm going to get help. And there are those resources that are there available for us to get help. So I think, to me, Freedom Day is such a powerful opportunity for women or victims to empower themselves.
Because men, women, children can all be victims of domestic violence. And just like apartheid oppressed the non-whites, and colonialism before that.
Yes.
But now domestic violence oppresses any person who is not allowed to have a human right, such as safety, such as security, exactly.
Sometimes not have economic freedom.
Absolutely.
It goes so far.
Yeah, and I think celebrating it, this is such an important topic. And we want, I think episodes like this, we want to say, we really want to break the stigma. Free yourself, make that choice. It's the first step to your freedom
Absolutely.
of the cycle of
Absolutely.
abuse.
Take back your
Exactly.
power.
Yes.
And also a message not only to victims to say break free. Maybe you're a perpetrator and you
need help.
Exactly, you need help, or you don't even realize what you're doing. It's become an habit to treat somebody in a certain way, to treat your partner in a certain way, to treat a family member in a certain way, to take away certain basic human rights. So it's a time to reevaluate yourself and to celebrate it, and then not to lose momentum. I think we've really had so much of achievement over the years. Women, I mean, the fact that you are sitting here today, in terms of your profile, of where you come from,
Absolutely.
your qualifications, what you have, what you stand for.
Yes.
At the end of the day, says so much. You, Veronika, are a symbol of that. So it's time for more people, and I think it takes just one person to break that silence. And there's so much, as you said, there's so much of help out there. You just have to break that silence, seek help, ask someone to help you, and you're on your way to your own freedom.
I also think it's about personal responsibility because, and I know we speak about this quite often. If you think about the stigma of divorce, why is the stigma of divorce there? Why is the stigma of domestic violence there? It's because we as a society have now labeled these terms as something that can be, people that can be stigmatized. Because I mean,
negative.
yes,
Like it's a bad thing.
and it shouldn't actually be that. Like how we fought for our freedoms, and now we have so much of liberties in our country and in our society. We need to actively, as a society, fight for freedoms in terms of we don't want abuse in our society.
In fact, that is the epitome of oppression. That's what oppression is, when you oppress somebody to stay the same way even though it's so wrong.
And we have such a beautiful word in our country, Ubuntu, which is that togetherness. And and as victims or even perpetrators that need help to rehabilitate themselves, it's all about that togetherness. To say that we are not going to blame victims, but we're going to stand up for victims. To say that even as a perpetrator, no matter why you think you did or had to do what you did, but rehabilitate, and we're going to help you to rehabilitate that, because we want healthy relationships in our families, in our homes. It's so important for our kids as well, as coming from all three of us as mothers. So that Ubuntu as well, to say to victims that it's not your fault and you are not your situation.
I think also building on that Ubuntu principle is the fact that what Ubuntu also stands for is that people are people through other people.
Exactly, not on your own.
Absolutely. So I mean, if we think about where we came from, I believe if we stand together as a country, we can achieve great things in the fight against domestic violence. So remember, guys, that domestic violence is a form of oppression. It oppresses your freedoms. So break the silence today. Reach out, get help. And in closing, I would like to say, every woman who stands up for herself stands up for all women. If you see as a society in the culture of Ubuntu that somebody needs help, hold out your hand and try to help. Be there, stand in the gap, be the change that you want to see. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we love all your votes. We appreciate your voting. Please continue to vote for me, your queen in the Mrs. Universe South Africa 2023 pageant. Go to web tickets and vote Veronika with a K. Sending you much love and blessings.
Hello South Africa, my name is Lokwazi Mahlaba, your Mrs. South Africa 2023 semi-finalist. And what freedom means to me is the ability to be able to express myself, be myself without being judged, or actually without feeling fearful about what the next person thinks or what they would do to me.
Hi, I'm Mario V. I am the CEO and founder of Unblemished Beauty Makeup and Nail Academy. And freedom for me is expressing who we are, loving ourselves for who we are, and just celebrating the world and the diversity that comes with it.